Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Think Tank. I've got Mexi with me here tonight,
Hello,
and
hello. It's always a pleasure.
always nice to have you, my friend. So, the affidavit was released.
Yes.
Yes. So, this is Richard Allen, and it's pretty much eye opening, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think a lot of questions have been answered, and now there's a couple more questions that need to be answered, but I think they've got him where they want him.
Yes. As far as like redacted, this was filled with information. Like they got him.
They got him. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I
Everything.
know.
Hey,
Innocent.
Bifton.
Innocent until proven guilty, but
Oh,
this is damning.
it is. It is damning, and it's I know it's innocent until proven guilty, but I have to say with this one, I do. I think they've got him.
I'm a little biased and I really just want justice, but from what
Exactly.
this reads like, it really reads like they have their person.
Sure does.
I
It
know
sure
it's going to
does.
be up to a jury of our peers, which,
Yeah.
the state better bring it. They better bring their A
And
game that day because
I think they will. Like, one thing about this particular group of, cops, they have not said much the entire time. So the fact that they're actually sounding extremely confident makes me feel confident in them, because
sure.
usually they're just like, we'll get them,
Yeah, right.
and now it's like, we got them.
But in the same breath,
Mm-hmm.
this document reads like they had interviewed Richard. Now we know they really did interview him.
Yeah.
Someone got a statement from him
Yeah.
back on the 17th.
Yeah.
So,
2017.
yeah,
So
that's
just
what
after.
I meant. That's what I meant. 2017. And they just kind of maybe they didn't have all the other missing pieces as far as like the witnesses and the girls that Richard talks about seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know other girls, but like the other people he talks about seeing while on his little nature walk.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. His little nature walk.
yeah, but it doesn't. It's weird because like I know they've done their job, but at the same time, I'm a little like, wow, you guys knew about him in like 2017.
Yeah. Right. Part of me thinks that because he seems to have approached them, it almost makes me wonder if, because of doing that, they made him a lesser subject. Do you know what I mean? If he
Yeah,
seems like he was wide open, maybe
but
they
why
just.
didn't what in what person did it click? Like once they released that footage,
Mm-hmm.
well, people know us today as like the Snapchat video.
Yeah.
When they saw that footage, the person that had interviewed him prior wasn't like, holy shit,
Right.
exactly what that guy said he was wearing.
Yeah. Very well said. And the exact time frame he was there.
Yes, he puts himself there.
Right in the spot, minus what, 0.25 of a mile?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have very well got sidetracked with Ron Logan.
They could
Very,
have.
yeah, because they did go pretty hard at him. And, we got a lot of information out of his warrant.
Yes.
That helped us a lot with what they were looking for and possibly what kind of attack had happened.
And I do know this question has been asked before. I'm sorry, Ron Logan. He passed away without any apologies, but he wasn't the best person in the world either. Like, to be
No,
honest, did he
he,
deserve what he got? No.
right. But
why.
due to his lifestyle and his temper and a few different things, he did kind of put himself in there.
In that target area.
Sadly, yeah.
Hey, once I go, if I see him, I will definitely shake that man's hand and say sorry.
Well, you know what? Nothing's out though yet. I don't,
Yeah,
not to be
that
a
is
negative
true.
Nelly, but if they're still looking for other
Other suspect.
people, yeah,
Mhm.
I will not eliminate. They went at him pretty hard. So it just, is it because of all the women coming out and saying he was abusive and all of that type? It could be strictly that, and the fact that
Maybe,
the girls were found on his property.
I mean, maybe KK over there, Keegan Klein, knows something we don't know. But as far as this redacted document goes,
Mm-hmm.
Richard Allen has no idea who Ron Logan is.
Exactly.
According to him.
Exactly.
I don't
Yeah,
know that for sure, but that's what this document
absolutely.
kind of implies to. Just
So is your copy, is it still highlighted?
yeah, of course.
I'm thinking maybe we'll bring yours up because we can go through the highlights of that instead of going through all 8 pages. Word for, what do you think?
I mean, I think you should just read it from the start because it's all good info, and I'll just bring up
All
the
right.
map while you're reading it
Okay.
because that whole first part gives
Mm-hmm.
really good detail about that harvester
It does.
store where all that video comes from. They actually have video of all the cars
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
were parked in that area. So yeah, if you want to kind of go through and read it, we can go through the map first, and then once we get to the highlighted section, I can let you know.
So I'll go.
Let me share my screen 1 second.
You betcha. Okay.
Guys, so I had no idea. I thought that they had maybe been dropped off on the other side of 25.
Yeah.
But come to find out, they weren't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be good. So we're here. Let me go to Google Earth. But I'm ready whenever, if you want to start reading through that.
Alrighty, let me get over here. Okay, so state of Indiana, county of Carroll versus Richard M. Allen. I, the undersigned affidavit, submit the following information pursuant to blah, blah, blah as a sworn affidavit setting forth the facts and circumstances known to law enforcement of Carroll County as the basis for probable cause to arrest without a warrant or to establish probable cause for issuance, my tongue's tied, of an arrest warrant for the above named defendant. The facts and circumstances described below would be sufficient basis for a person of reasonable caution and prudence to believe that the accused has committed or attempted to commit the offense described, and that if arrested without a warrant, such would be authorized under, again, another cause, IC 35-33-1-1. That the hearsay statements of witnesses contained herein are considered reliable and credible due to the witnesses' personal knowledge and are corroborated by the totality of the circumstances. So that on February 14th, 2017, victim 1, which is Abby, and victim 2, which is Libby, were found deceased in the woods approximately 0.2 miles northeast of the Monon High Bridge in Carroll County. Their bodies were located on the north side of Deer Creek. At the time, the Monon High Bridge Trail was approximately 1 mile gravel trail terminating at the Monon High Bridge. The Monon High Bridge is an abandoned rail trestle approximately 0.25 miles long. That's amazingly long, spanning the Deer Creek and the Deer Creek Valley on the southeast side of the trail, approximately 0.7 miles northwest on the trail. From the northwestern edge of the Monon High Bridge is the Freedom Bridge, which is a pedestrian bridge that spans over State Road 25, approximately 350 feet. West of the Freedom Bridge was a former railroad overpass over Old State Road 25, also known as County Road 300 North. The trail terminates just west off the former railroad overpass. The majority of the trail is a wooded area with a steep embankment on the south side of the trail. Now, is that ever steep? The pictures are deceiving. The entirety of the trail and location of the girls were and are located in Carroll County, Indiana. Through interviews, reviews of electronic records, and reviews of video at the Hosier Harvest Store, investigators believe Victim 1 and Victim 2 were dropped off across from the Myers farm at 1:49 p.m. on February 13th, 2017 by Redacted. The Mears farm is located on the north side of County Road 300 North and entrance to the trails. A video from Victim 2's phone, so Libby's phone, shows that at 2:13 p.m., Victim 1 and Victim 2 encounter a male subject on the southeast portion of the Monon High Bridge. The male ordered the girls, "Guys, down the hill." No witnesses saw the girls after this time. No outgoing communications were found on Victim 2's phone after this time. Their bodies were discovered on February 14th, 2017. The video recovered from Victim 2's phone shows Victim 1 walking southeast on the Monon High Bridge, while a male subject wearing a dark jacket and jeans walks behind her. As the male subject approaches Victim 1 and Victim 2, one of the victim mentions gun. Near the end of the video,
Gun. That's how you control two people. Like, I always wondered, I mean,
yeah,
there could always been that, maybe they froze kind of thing, people get scared, that flight or flight, and maybe they froze. But at some point, like, even if you had a knife, someone would try to fight back, right? But if you had a gun, guns are more of an immediate threat almost. So I can see controlling two people with a gun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember watching an interview with Abby's mom, and she mentioned the fact that Libby had said something about a gun. There's also another portion that I haven't seen mentioned, but supposedly Abby said he's standing right behind me, isn't he?
Mm.
And
That's scary.
yeah. And then the words, "He's got a gun."
Yeah. So just real quick, guys, the Harvester store, I think that's just right, Harvester store, where
Yeah, I think it's
all the footage is coming from is somewhere right here, right?
yeah.
And I think this is probably where they got dropped off, right?
Yeah, that's
Mears Farm, kind of.
yeah, it's so hard to match it up exact. I remember in the photos, it's where that red gate
Yeah.
is.
Well, this is
Yeah.
where the little hub was for the
for the search.
Yeah, and we have a couple of videos, but they come from other YouTubers that actually show that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Delphi Forever, guys, if you haven't subscribed, they have awesome footage. And it's just footage that shows you the area.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's
And there's some great drone footage out there right
yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, check out our Discord. It's in the description below. But there's a bunch of different cases loaded down with a bunch of information, and you're more than welcome to help yourself to it, use it in your own streams, whatever you need.
And that Delphi footage we're just a little apprehensive showing it because it does come from another creator.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to overstep, but they are tagged in there. They're linked in there. So if anyone wants to help themselves to go watch, it really gives you a good idea of what the area looks like.
Oh, absolutely.
And you get a better understanding as well.
Even that one drone footage where it basically showed how that entire area, how thick the trees actually were and are, all the way from the bridge basically straight
even
to
during that time, because I think it was supposed to be like fall, right? But even during that time, it was.
And Richard Allen, I mean, he really wouldn't even have had to have driven if he could have walked the trees.
Yeah, I was noticing that too. I had that was like a thought that had never crossed my mind. But I'll go ahead and show it since we're talking about it. This is allegedly where he lives, right? This little brown shit X. You could literally just come back here into the woods.
Yeah.
And they do say that it's a little bit hard to walk through here because of the mud, the mud, and as far as like how
the terrain's a little bit rough.
The terrain of it is difficult.
But you know what? Look at that creek follows it. It goes right all the way there.
You just go underneath a bridge, keep following that creek.
Yeah.
And there you are.
Yeah.
And it's about a mile away.
Yeah. That's scary.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's scary.
Like, let's actually do to where their bodies were found. It's like a mile and a half, a little over a mile and a half.
Right.
To the moon on about 1.25.
And if he's somebody that says he goes out and watches the fish jump, he
I'm like, what fish? What are you talking about?
But if that's his character, he should be able to deal with the terrain.
Yes, if he's that kind of guy who's just
can
spot a fish in 2 feet of water.
Yeah.
With
yeah, they weren't jumping. Not enough to keep you entertained, I'm not thinking.
No, not at all. That comment was so odd. He was like, I was watching the fish. Yeah, of course you were.
Right. Yeah.
I'd be watching the fish too. Quotation marks, fish. This dude.
Unreal. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Throughout interviews, reviews of electronic records, and review of video from the Hosier harvester, investigators believe victim 1 and 2 were dropped off. Okay, we did this. At 1:49, the Mears farm is located on the north side of County Road 300 North, near the entrance to the trails. A video from victim's 2 phone shows at 2:13, victim 1 and victim 2 encountered a male subject on the southeast portion of Monon High Bridge. The male ordered the guys down the hill, and no witnesses saw them after that time. The video recovered from victim's 2 phone shows victim 1 walking southeast on the Monon High Bridge, while a male subject wearing a dark jacket and jeans walked behind her. Oh, terrifying. As the male subject approaches victim 1 and victim 2, one of the victims mentions a gun. Near the end of the video, a male is seen and heard telling the girls, guys down the hill. So I find that very interesting because it says near the end of the video, a male is seen and heard. So we haven't seen the video of him saying girls down the hills or guys down the hill. We've only heard the words, but we have not seen him.
Yeah, but this tells us at least that it was all part of the same.
Absolutely.
So if anybody had a question of, oh, they videotaped this one guy, it could have been somebody else. No, this is the same.
Yeah. And once we get to it, you'll see that everybody that was on the trails that day, he's the only guy that they seen. The girls began.
Splifton. Yes, Splifton. Oh my gosh.
What?
We said fishing, Freudians, like Freudian.
Oh. Hey, Shauna.
Yeah, catfishing.
Oh.
This guy. Oh my God. I choking myself.
And I don't think you can see the fish. Like he is.
No, you can't. Like I mean, if you watch the actual footage of the day, you know, we could probably show that actually, because it's actual news footage of the helicopters
Mm-hmm.
and that were searching that day. And if you look, once you look down at the water, you're like, there's no fish.
Well, and not only that, look at how high he was up.
Yeah.
How are you going to see a minnow jump into, like, it just, none of it makes any sense to me.
I know I'm laughing. It's just that this guy kind of.
Oh, unreal. Yeah. Watching the fish. Let's see here. Guys down the hill. The girls begin to proceed down the hill and the video ends. A still photograph taken from the video and the guys down the hill audio was subsequently released to the public to assist investigators in identifying the male. Victim 1 and Victim 2's deaths were ruled as homicide. So this is something else I find very interesting. Clothes were found in the Deer Creek belonging to Victim 1 and Victim 2, south of where their bodies were located. I didn't realize, I've never heard anything about their clothes not being on. I've never heard that.
I did mark it. I'm not sure if that's a spot, guys, but it just said south, so, and in the river, so I just marked it there.
Yeah.
But it could be
close
anywhere on this little thing right here. This little Deer Creek.
Another piece of information. There is also a .40 caliber unspent round, less than 2 feet away from Victim 2's body, between Victim 1 and Victim 2. The round was unspent and had extraction marks on it.
How'd that get there?
Right, how did that get there? From his house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Interviews were conducted with 3 juveniles, redacted and redacted. They advised that they were on Monon High Bridge Trail, February 13th, 2017. They advised they were walking on the trail towards Freedom Bridge to go home when they encountered a male walking from Freedom Bridge towards the Monon High Bridge. Redacted described the male as kind of creepy and advised he was wearing like blue jeans, a really light blue jacket. His hair was gray, maybe a little brown, and he did not really show his face. She advised that the jacket was a duck canvas type jacket. Redacted advised she said hi to the male, but he just glared at them. She recalled him being in all black and had something covering his mouth. She described him as not very tall, with a bigger build. She said that he was not bigger than 5'10", advised he was wearing a black hoodie, black jeans, and black boots. She stated he had his hands in his pockets. Redacted showed investigators photographs she took on her cell phone while she was on the trail that day. The photographs include a photo of the Monon High Bridge taken at 12:43 p.m. and another one taken at 1:26 at the bench east of the Freedom Bridge. Redacted advised after she took the photo of the bench, they started walking back towards the Freedom Bridge. She advised that was when they encountered the man who matched the description of the photograph taken from victim two's video. Redacted described the man she encountered on the trail as wearing a blue or black windbreaker jacket. She advised the jacket had a collar and he had his hood up from the clothing underneath his jacket. She advised he was wearing baggy jeans and was taller than her. She advised her head came up to approximately his shoulders. She said hi to the man and that he said nothing back. She stated he was walking with a purpose, like he knew where he was going. She stated he had his hands in his pockets and kept his head down. She advised she did not take a good look at his face, but believed him to be a white male. The girls advised after encountering the male, they continued their walk across Freedom Bridge and the old railway bridge over Old State Road 25. Investigators spoke with Redacted, who advised she was on the trails February 13th. Video from the Hoosier Harvest Store captured Redacted vehicle traveling eastbound at 1:46 p.m. towards the entrance across from Mears Farm. Redacted advised she saw 4 juvenile females walking on the bridge over Old State Road 25 as she was driving underneath on her way to park. Redacted advised there were no other cars parked across from the Mears Farm when she parked. She advised she walked to the Monon High Bridge and observed a male matching one of victim two's videos. She described the male she saw as a white male wearing blue jeans and a blue jean jacket. She advised he was standing on the first platform on the Monon High Bridge, approximately 50 feet from her. She advised she turned around at the bridge and continued her walk. She advised approximately halfway between the bridge and the parking area across from Mears Farm, she passed 2 girls walking towards Monon High Bridge. She advised she believed the girls were victim 1 and victim 2. Video from the Hoosier Harvest Store shows 1:49 p.m. a white car matching Redacted's vehicle traveling away from the entrance across from Mears Farm. Redacted advised she finished her walk and saw no other adults than the male on the bridge. Her vehicle is seen on Hoosier Harvest Store video at 2:14, leaving westbound from the trails. She advised when she was leaving, she noted a vehicle was parked in an odd manner at the old Child Protective Services building. She said it was not odd for vehicles to be parked there, but she did note that it was odd because of how it was parked. It was backed in near the building. Investigators received from a tip, Redacted, in which he stated he was on his way to Delphi on State Road 25 around 2:10 p.m. on February 13th. He observed a purple PT Cruiser or a small SUV type of vehicle parked on the south side of the old CPS building. He stated it appears as though it was backed in as to conceal the license plate of a vehicle. Redacted both drew diagrams of where they saw the vehicle parked, and their diagrams generally matched as to the area the vehicle was parked and manner in which it was parked. So that is a very unusual way. In the oil and gas industry out here, the only reason you park backwards is so if anything goes wrong at one of the sites, you can get the hell out of there right fast.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a pharmacist. He wouldn't be trained to do that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like my partner, he backs up into anything. It's annoying, but yeah, there's no reason to do that in the middle of
Nowhere. Exactly.
No reason to do that.
Yeah. I mean, no cars are going to
empty. It's like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was no reason except for maybe trying to hide.
Yeah. Obviously, he knew what he was doing. Premeditation.
Sure sounds like it.
Sounds like premeditation.
But I mean, who knows how his bullet got there?
Right. Unbeknownst to me.
Isn't that amazing?
This guy, because we'll get there, guys. It's on the documents. He doesn't know Ron Logan, has never been on the property.
Yeah.
He has no explanation.
Yes.
On how. And then he goes on to say that he doesn't allow a single person.
Yes.
Near his Sig Sauer.
Exactly.
But here it is.
Right?
Here it is. How can you? Right in between them. How do you explain that?
Yeah.
Sir, explain.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. You see, I don't know much about this. I think the ammunition they found was from the gun misfiring. Mm-hmm. It got stuck and he had to rechamber around. Okay.
I mean, I would think that if that happened, like there would be some damage to the other bullet. But yeah, I mean, if he like took it off the chamber, yeah, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't. Canada isn't gun friendly, so yeah. I think the ammunition. Yeah, I just think that I've been trying to figure out how the hell something that has a striation marks.
Well, like every gun is particular to like even the. I call it a clip, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a clip.
Mm-hmm.
Even those leave like little striation marks.
And that must be because it was unfired.
Well, also the barrel does as well.
Even unfired?
No, I mean, if it's a brand new bullet, no.
Yeah.
It has to actually come out of the barrel itself to have the striation mark from the barrel. So, yeah.
If it was cycled through, there were marks.
Yeah, Shauna, yeah. Okay. You're right. Yeah, Shauna's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Like it have to have cycled through. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. It got rejected, unfired.
Yes.
So in that case, you literally take the bullet out and put a new one in, and that's the way it works.
If like, it's still in the chamber, you can unchamber it with like, you know.
No, I don't know.
Sorry. But yeah, like if it's stuck in the chamber, then that'd be terrible to fire it out because a lot of more damage can happen if you do that. But
right,
I've never had a
handgun or
no. I don't know. I was just saying like I've never had a mishap like that happen.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it just shows to like he had faulty. He either doesn't clean his weapon or it's just faulty ammunition. Maybe I don't know. I can't call that. I'm not an expert. I can't call. But Shauna has.
There's a few different ways that it
she's
can.
She's got really good points. Whatever Shauna is saying.
Yeah.
I'm with her.
Me too. I'm with Shauna. So okay, let's see here.
Smart car thing.
Our vehicle was seen. We've gone through the Delphi.
Unchamber. Yes, it's called unchambering. Yes.
Okay. Unchambering.
Yeah, so unchamber. That's what I call it. I don't know. I've never taken a class.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, he described it as possibly being a smart car. Mm-hmm. Redacted vehicle is seen leaving at 2:28 on the Hoosier Harvester video. Investigators spoke with Redacted, who stated that she was traveling east on 300 North on February 13th and observed a male subject walking west on the north side of 300 North, away from the Monon High Bridge. Redacted advised that the male subject was wearing a blue-colored jacket, blue jeans, and was muddy and bloody. She further stated that it appeared he had gotten into a fight. Investigators were able to determine from watching the video from the Hoosier Harvest Store, that's a tongue twister,
Yeah, I know.
that Redacted was traveling on CR 300 North at approximately 3:57 p.m. I gave him a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. A whole hour and a half after they last saw him.
Yeah, and that sounds about right in my mind.
Yeah.
Through interviews, electronic data, photographs, and video from the Hoosier Harvest Store, investigators determined that there were other people on the trail that day after 2:13. Those people were interviewed, and none of those individuals encountered the male subject referenced above, witnessed by the juvenile girls, redacted and redacted. Further, none of those individuals witnessed victim 1 or victim 2. Investigator reviewing prior tips encountered
good guys.
Yeah. Encountered a tip narrative from an officer who interviewed Richard M. Allen in 2017. The narrative stated, Mr. Allen was on the trail between 1330 hours, so 1:30, until 15:30, so 3:30. He parked at the Old Farm Bureau building and walked to the new Freedom Bridge. While at the Freedom Bridge, he saw 3 females. He noted one was taller and had brown hair or black hair. He did not remember description, nor did he speak with them. He walked from the Freedom Bridge to the High Bridge. He did not see anybody, although he stated he was watching a stock ticker on
I
his
thought that was
phone.
a bird.
Yeah. Yeah, a bird, and I thought it was for working out. And literally, it has to do with stocks.
Yeah, his dude was checking his stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Old
Mm-hmm.
CPS building, Shauna.
You see, he has to explain why his phone's pinging there.
It was this right here.
He stated there were vehicles parked at High Bridge Trail. However, he did not pay attention to them. He did not take any photos or videos. His cell phone did not list an IMEI, but did have the following. I don't know what all of these. Potential follow-up information. Who were the girls walking in the area of the Freedom Bridge? So that's investigators' notes. Investigators believe Mr. Allen was referring to the former Child Protective Services building, as there was not a Farm Bureau building in the area, nor had there ever been. Investigators believe the females he saw included redacted and redacted. Due to the time they were leaving the trail, the time he reported getting to the trail, and the descriptions of the three females gave. Investigators discovered Richard Allen owned 2 vehicles in 2017, a 2016 black Ford Focus and a 2006 gray Ford 500. Investigators observed a vehicle that resembled Allen's 2016 Ford Focus on the Hoosier Harvest Store video at 1:27 p.m., traveling westbound on CR 300 North in front of the Hoosier Harvest Store, which coincided with the statements that he arrived around 1:30 at the trails. Investigators note witnesses describe the vehicle parked at the former Child Protective Service building as a PT Cruiser, a small SUV, or a smart car. Investigators believe those descriptions are similar in nature to a Ford 2016 Ford Focus. On October 13th, 2022, Richard Allen was interviewed again by investigators. He advised he was on the trails on February 13th. He stated he saw juvenile girls on the trails of Freedom Bridge and that he went onto the Monon High Bridge. Richard Allen further stated he went out onto the Monon High Bridge to watch the fish. Later, later in his statement, he said he walked out to the first platform on the bridge. He stated he then walked back, sat on a bench on the trail, and then left. Well, yeah, he has to explain why his phone didn't move.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's probably pretty close to the location. He said it's east of the trail.
Yeah.
So east of the Moonon, right?
What? Yeah.
So
yeah.
Somewhere around here.
Yeah.
I think
and we know from different interviews that it does not ping 100% accurately, that it could ping between a couple towers.
Absolutely. That's why Ron Logan's like pinged.
Exactly. Yeah. He stated he parked his car on the side of an old building. He told investigators that he was wearing blue jeans and a blue or black Carhartt jacket with a hood. He advised he was wearing what he was caught in the video wearing.
Yeah, pretty much.
He told investigators that he was wearing blue jeans and a blue or black Carhartt jacket with a hood. He advised he may have been wearing some type of head covering as well. He further claimed he saw no one else except for the juvenile girls he saw east of the Freedom Bridge. He told investigators that he owns firearms and that they are at his home. Richard M. Allen's wife, Kathy Allen, also spoke to investigators. She confirmed that Richard did have guns and knives at the residence. She also stated that Richard still owns a blue Carhartt jacket. On October, right? On October,
if that's the same jacket, if that's the same jacket, that's absolutely a remembrance.
Yeah, like a trophy, right?
I think Greg Hughes proved that his own daughter was wearing one of those Abby and Libby tie-dye shirts.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely was. And then that disturbing picture that he took of her on the Monon High Bridge.
Yeah.
It is spooky resemblance to Libby.
Do you think that was like on purpose, or do you think that was like all just...
I think that was intentional.
Like coincidence, like she was like, oh, I mean, because that's a really beautiful spot, to be honest. It really is.
Yeah. And I have a funny feeling.
I wonder if it wasn't on purpose and it was just coincidence that he was sitting there just like panicking, or what he thought. I really would love to know what he was thinking.
What was going through his head?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it's not as twisted as what I have him thinking.
Yeah. Well.
On October 13th, investigators executed a warrant on Richard Allen's residence at 1967 North Whitman Drive, Delphi, Carroll County, Indiana. Among other items, officers located the jackets, boots, knives, and firearms, including a Sig Sauer model P226, a .40 caliber pistol with serial number U625627. Between October 14th and October 19th, the Indiana State Police Laboratory performed an analysis on Allen's Sig Sauer Model P226. The laboratory performed a physical examination and classification of the firearm, function test, barrel and overall length measurement, test firing, ammunition component characterization, microscopic comparisons, and right. And nibbin. I don't know what nibbin is.
You actually.
Like, what is a NIBIN? Nibbin.
Let's see. We'll learn something together. Let's see. National Integrated Ballistic Information Network.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Do you ever see Chandler Bing talk about his nubbin? It was confusing me. The laboratory determined the unspent round located within 2 feet of victim 2's body had been cycled through Richard M. Allen's Sig Sauer model P226.
Would you look at that?
Right?
What?
Yeah. The laboratory remarked an identification opinion is reached when the evidence exhibits an agreement of class characteristics and sufficient agreement in individual marks. Sufficient agreement is related to the significance, duplications of random striated impression marks as evidenced by the correspondence of a pattern or combination of patterns of surface contours. The interpretation of identification is subjective in nature and based on relevant scientific research and the reporting examiner's training and experience.
In short, we got you.
We got you.
We got you.
Oh, yeah, right? And it makes you wonder those, after that first court appearance there, those two defense lawyers came out. They didn't know who Keegan Kline was, they were trying to say. They didn't know this, they didn't know that. And they said that the probable cause was just a waste of time, that it didn't prove anything. Well, I beg to differ.
I'm sorry, but this dude even admits that it's his. He's like, yeah, that's mine.
It's my gun. I was there.
Yeah. I was there that day. I don't let anyone else touch my things. Yeah. Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would never.
The girls had, after running to him on the
here, I would never allow anyone to take my things.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Investigators then ran the firearm and found that the firearm was purchased by Richard Allen in 2001. Richard Allen voluntarily came to the Indiana State Police Post on October 26, 2022. He spoke with investigators and stated that he never allowed anyone to use or borrow the Sig Sauer model P226 firearm. When asked about the unspent bullet, he did not have an explanation as to why the bullet was found between the bodies of victim 1 and victim 2.
No idea.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to him.
Isn't that something? Yeah. Someone broke into his house, stole that bullet, found the bodies, and just thought,
Don't give him ideas, Franky.
Yeah. Right? Well, I mean, I guess if he expects us to believe this
shenanigan here, no, absolutely not.
Right? He again admitted that he was on the trail, but denied knowing victim 1 or victim 2, and denied any involvement in their murders. Carroll County Sheriff's Department Detective Redacted has been part of the investigation since it started in 2017. He has had an opportunity to review and examine evidence gathered in this investigation. Detective Redacted, along with other investigators, believe the evidence gathered shows Richard Allen is the male subject seen on the video from victim 2's phone, who forced the victims down the hill. Further, the victims were forced down the hill by Richard Allen and led to the location where they were unalived. Through the statements and photographs of the juvenile females and the statements of Redacted and Redacted were at the southwest edge of the trail at 12:43 p.m., east of the Freedom Bridge at 1:26 p.m., and walked across the former railroad overpass over State Road 25 after 1:26 p.m., and before 1:46 p.m. They walked the entirety of the trail and observed only one person, an adult male. Redacted vehicle is seen on the Hosier Harvest Story video at 1:46 p.m. and leaving at 2:14, and she stated she saw only one adult male. Redacted and redacted described the male in similar manner, wearing similar clothing, leading investigators to believe all four saw the same individual. Investigators believe the male observed by redacted and redacted is the same male depicted on the video from victim 2's phone due to the descriptions of the male by the four females matching the male in the video. Furthermore, victim 2's video was taken at 2:13 p.m. and redacted saw only one male while she was on the trail from approximately 1:46 to 2:14 p.m. Investigators believe Richard Allen was the male seen by redacted and the male seen in victim 2's video. Richard Allen told investigators he was on the trail from 1:30 to 3:30. Video from Hoosier Harvester shows a vehicle that matches the description of Richard Allen's vehicle passing at 1:27 toward the former CPS building. The clothing he told investigators he was wearing matched the clothing of the male in victim 2's video and the clothing descriptions provided by redacted. A vehicle matching the description of his 2016 Ford Focus is seen at or around 2:10 p.m., 2:14 p.m., and 2:28 p.m. at the former CPS building. Through his own admissions, Richard Allen walked the trails and eventually hiked to the Monon High Bridge and walked out onto the Monon High Bridge. The male subject, matching Richard Allen's description, was not seen on the trail after 2:13 p.m. Investigators identified other individuals on the trail or CR 300 North between 2:30 p.m. and 4:11 p.m. None of those individuals saw a male subject matching the description of Richard Allen on the trail. Furthermore, Richard Allen stated that he only saw 3 girls on the trail who investigators believed to be redacted. Investigators believe Richard Allen was not seen on the trail after 2:13 p.m. because he was in the woods with victim 1 and victim 2. An unspent .40 caliber round between the bodies of victim 1 and victim 2 was forensically determined to have been cycled through Richard Allen's Sig Sauer model P226. The gun was found at Richard Allen's residence, and he admitted owning it. Investigators were able to determine that he had owned it since 2001. Allen stated he had not been on that property where the unspent round was found, and he did not know the property owner. And he had no explanation as to why the round cycled through his firearm would be at the location. Furthermore, he stated that he never allowed anyone to borrow the Sig Sauer. Investigators believe that the victims were murdered. Richard Allen returned to his vehicle by walking down CR 300 North. Investigators believe he was seen by redacted walking back to his vehicle on CR 300 North with the clothes that were muddy and bloody.
Wow, Richard.
Right?
It's like explaining to do, Richard. Lots of explaining. How are you going to get away with this?
Right? Yeah. Redacted, along with investigators, believe the statement made by the witnesses because the statements corroborate the timeline of the death of the 2 victims, as well as coinciding with admissions made by Richard Allen. Further, the accounts relayed by redacted and redacted are similar in nature, and timestamps on photographs taken by redacted correspond to the times the juvenile females said they were on the trails and saw the individual. That's it. That's unreal, hey?
He did. I mean,
Yeah, 4 witnesses.
And video.
Yeah.
And video.
And
That
video.
puts you there, Richard. Come on,
Yeah.
Ricky.
Yeah.
How are you going to explain that away?
He's up the creek watching the fish.
What?
Unreal.
Watching the fish.
Oh, can you imagine? From how high is that bridge? Like, it's
not high enough for me. Don't want to be on it.
well, and this is it. Like, it's something like 60 feet up.
No,
and you're gonna watch a trout jump?
Well, that water's so shallow too. Like, it's really fish, Ricky.
Right.
But maybe Bluffton was right about that, like Freudian slip, or Freudian. I don't even know how to say that.
Freudian slip, right?
Freudian slip. Like, maybe he really was fishing.
Yeah. And that's a good question, Shauna. Like, I wonder as well if he realized that he lost it. I don't know. I would think the guy had to been like freaking out. Although it doesn't necessarily seem like he was. I don't know how that would work. Like, they had his voice. They had him walking on the bridge. He obviously knew that he had been seen. He had to put himself there. People had seen him. He didn't really have much choice but to say he was there. The defense could have an expert dispute the bullet evidence, as it said.
Why?
Because of the
when he himself says that he doesn't know their property and has never been on it. Is he going to try to pin it on his wife, his kid? What?
Yeah.
How else did your cycle through round get there? Richard, please tell me.
Yeah.
If you don't know Ron Logan, he could have said he knew Ron Logan and he let him borrow his weapon.
Right.
But he didn't. He said he has no idea.
So they're also saying, though, that there's that one unspent bullet they found. But what they're not saying is there anything that...
I was actually trying to see if I could find that excerpt without actually going through the Ron Logan warrant. Because there is a piece in there in the Ron Logan warrant where it says that there is no way that the perpetrator... So it says a large amount of blood was lost by the victims at the crime scene. Because of the nature of the victim's wounds, it is nearly certain the perpetrator of the crime would have gotten blood on his person or clothing.
Right. And they say in both that warrant and in this affidavit, they both say that they were looking for a gun and a knife.
Yeah.
So what I was wondering about this bullet, they've got the one that's unfired, but what if that was...
It matches around that
it was used.
Yeah. At that point, he's done.
Yeah, because that's my thoughts. Like, they don't have to put everything into that paperwork. They just have to put enough in there.
Yeah, that lets you know that they got him.
Yeah.
That they do have enough of the probable cause to get him on this, to charge him with it, at least. And I mean,
what else do they have?
Why would there be an unspent bullet there if he didn't actually use
the weapon?
One or two of those bullets.
That's kind of what I'm wondering. So now, if that's the case, they would be able to match those up, right?
Yes, because the striations would be the same.
Okay. So hopefully they've got more than just that one. if
he
there's a
used
possibility of them.
Well, there's those fibers too that they have.
That's right.
Which
Yeah.
could unknown hairs and fibers, which could be the cat.
Yeah.
Now we all know they had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hair
And
from him, maybe even.
Yeah.
Maybe they have some of his DNA if he used a knife. It's very possible.
Yeah. 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 And they did mention animal hair. So that kitty cat could bury
I'm not
him.
sure they said animal hair specifically. I can't be for sure if they said that, but I do know they said the unknown fibers and hairs. Did they say
Okay.
cat? They might have said cat. I don't know, but that could be anything, you know.
Right. Yeah. It will be in some of my
Thank you, Bethlehem, for being devil's advocate. I usually play that in the chat as well.
The point is they just might be thinking it matches his gun. It's an opinion being devil's advocate. Yes. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it sounds like there was lots left. And what I'm curious about is literally what else do they have? Because they've been able to keep all of this stuff silent. You know, we didn't know about these girls. We knew there was witnesses. We didn't know where from. And we just found out, hey, James.
I had no idea there was this many witnesses.
I didn't realize
there's a few of them from what it sounds like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then they've got the film footage from the Who's Your Heart Store? Heart Plan?
Yeah, the Who's
That's what I think too, Blifton.
Harvester.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's what I hope. And I hope there is some DNA in there, whether that be from the hair. Yo, if it's cat hair there, they got that cat. I mean, it would be an easy match if you could do it. It seems like there's a lot of things tying him there.
There is an awful lot. And, you know, like I was saying at the beginning, they have been so close-lipped that the fact that they're going for this guy, it just makes me think that they've got more.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, from his own admission, he was there.
I know.
During that time, people put him there. There's video that puts him there.
Another thing that came out today, he has asked for a change of venue.
I figured he would do that, actually. I figured that's something the lawyers would do.
Yeah, it makes sense, but he's not going to be able to escape this.
No.
You know, this has been a case that people have followed for almost 6 years now. He's not going to be able to escape it. Hopefully people can keep open minds. I mean, I couldn't be on the jury. I'd be like, Sparky, where's Sparky? Yeah.
As soon as I walk in, I would just be totally guilty. Oh, what are we talking about? Oh, this isn't the case. Well, it's guilty on the other one for sure.
So what they have right now for physical evidence, James, is they've got
a weapon, which is damning.
Yeah, they've got some more camera footage from a local store. They've got some more witnesses that we didn't know about. So, yeah, and like Shauna said, like something more, you know. I know I'm wrong for having my opinion. And well, no, I'm not wrong for having my opinion. I know I probably shouldn't be as vocal about it. I'm supposed to stay neutral.
That's why it's called an opinion.
Yeah. And some of these cases, it's just, whoa, how are you not the guy? I mean, this is OJ all over again. It scares me. They've been so hush hush. I mean, it seems over the top. It does. But, you know, if we look at, let's look at some of the cases lately, like I'm freezing. Like Michael, for an example, all the stuff that's been kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
No wrong opinions. Thank you. You know, with some of the stuff that's come out there, look at little baby Quentin there. You know,
Yeah.
everybody, they didn't think that he would be found. They were starting to question law enforcement because they were so quiet. Look at the girls right now, the 4 students.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that's kind of being hush hush. So,
I mean, that's how it used to be. I mean, before social media, you never really
yeah,
heard anything that the cops were doing prior because
yeah.
there was nowhere to say
I
it
hope,
to, I guess.
right.
But now, because of social media, like, I don't know if like law enforcement feels pressured like they have to say something, but it wasn't like that back in the day,
Oh, it absolutely was not. We got,
whatever you got.
yeah,
If you got anything. That's
yeah, we got what the version of the news that they wanted to put out. And that was all we would get because there was nothing ever to contradict it. So we would listen to what they said. And now we've got all these different people that are sleuthing out there, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or Tic Toc. This stuff is getting out. And
yeah.
yeah,
Reaching more people because even news stations now are going on YouTube. They're posting their videos on YouTube.
yeah,
So a lot more people are seeing these things.
that's right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it is all circumstantial for now. I mean, for like, we don't know what they have. And I mean, obviously, we know from the Ron Logan warrant that they do have some things. They do have DNA. They have DNA. They have some sort of hair or fibers, something.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Cops saying nothing leads to rumors. I agree with you. I do. You know, when they're saying things that give, I'm going to use those 4 students. Instead of saying that a knife was used, the cops kept saying a sharp edged.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the fires like pokers, like
Yeah. And what is the reason for that? There was really no reason except it caused confusion.
a toothbrush that's sharpened at one end, like a shave.
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
An
Why
app?
did you just say
Is it
that?
a
It was a knife.
exactly?
You don't
And I
have
have
specific.
yeah. No, I mean we don't need to know the exact anything, but when it's something that is doing them more harm and more, as James was saying, causes more rumors,
Yeah.
then it's probably time to have a press conference and at least say, okay, this is not fact. This is not fact.
They had like 2 press conferences, 3 days apart to absolutely say nothing. To say the same confusing nonsense that they were saying prior. Like, it made no sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the same kind of thing here, you know, in some sense it's been good, but in a lot of senses it's been open season for gossip.
Yeah.
They could have got a search warrant just knowing what he said in his first interview.
That's enough probable cause.
Yes. I was in the same place at the
So
same
why did they
time
wait
wearing
5
the same
years?
thing. Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, how can somebody took his interview, or maybe they released that footage and then they took his interview and they were like, nobody put those 2 together. Like, nobody was like,
Yeah. Yeah. He's got the exact same clothes. He's got the same
where
facial
have I
hair.
heard that? Where have I heard that. Your
Yeah.
description sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Come on,
It-
guys.
Yeah. Yeah. That sadly was poor. You know,
Oh
that,
man.
yeah.
Did that interview get pushed to the back of the stack or something? Was that a rookie maybe? Like, and then that's not even excusable at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
if your job is to go out there and take statements, and then you're taking those statements and shoving them in the back of your freaking file cabinet or locker, like,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
why did you go out there? What did you do that for? Like,
Yeah. 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 It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what comes out. Slowly, I guess, we'll get a little bit more. It'll start to leak out as it, sadly, as it always does, because people are going to start to recognize who's who, especially in a small town. And the rumors will start, and hopefully, they'll squash them. They don't have to give us information, just tell us that this is not the truth. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, try and get a little bit of control over what's being said without giving anything away. It is possible.
right, because you don't really need to know the details. And I mean, even I was kind of surprised at reading that this probable cause that they put out, because I was like, this is redacted. Like,
Yeah.
there was so much info in there.
Yeah. I think they were just worried about those girls, the minor girls.
Yeah, and that's fine. Hey, I don't.
Okay, Shauna. Thanks for being here. We're just about done. The next one that we're going to do, we'll probably do a live on my other channel. It's Frankyrose's Crime Updates Historical Cases. So this one is on the Cray brothers from London, and they're pretty interesting as well. James, you might like that. I know you like the historical stuff. And I'm sure you know about the Crays, the crazy Crays. So yeah, we'll be doing that tomorrow. Oh, perfect.
Historical channel. Yeah, James, you should come check us out on Discord if you have a Discord, because I'd like to pick your brain about, yes, Ronnie and Reggie. I'd like to pick your brain about these mafiosos.
Ronnie and Reggie, yep, you bet.
I know you know a lot about those guys.
Let's put up, before we go, let's actually put up one of those. How about the second one?
Yeah. The boxing?
Yeah, you betcha.
Yes.
You bet. So this is same time-ish. We're looking at about what time were we thinking, Mexi? Because we were going around your
When
words.
is this?
Tomorrow for the craze?
Tomorrow, Wednesday. I have a day job, guys, so I don't get off till 5:30 Central Time.
So do we want to go 6 or 6:30?
Yeah.
Your time?
That works, yeah.
Okay. And I'll put out the notification too. I'll set it up. So 6:30. So that's you're an hour. Okay. All right. Do you want me to hook up the craze?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Oh, I guess I'm here. I guess I could do it. I'm here, right?
Did you want to do it?
Yeah, I'm here, right?
Okay. Okay.
I'm doing it now. The second one, huh?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, you can't get volume on it. Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Not very loud.
You can't hear it. So no, you got to do it, because
Okay.
I know we have problems on my side.
No problem. Let me get it set up here. Yeah, Ronnie and Reggie.
Cool characters, man. There's Charlie too. Let's not forget about him.
Can't
The
forget
cool
about
characters.
Charlie. Absolutely. Okay.
We're going to use this as an outro, right?
Here we go. Yeah. And let's see here. So that's next. Oh, there we go. The music. Okay. So yeah, tomorrow night, and I will set up notifications either later on this evening or tomorrow, first thing. So guys, thanks for joining us. It was
Been
yeah,
a pleasure.
yeah. I always enjoy having you, Mixie. You're always a wealth of information, and yeah, and you're funny too.
Oh, thanks.
Freddie Norman, you bet.
Yes. James, if you have Discord, come find us because I seriously want to pick your brain about all these mafiosos because I know
Night,
you know a lot.
Lipton. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, and we will hopefully see you guys tomorrow night.
Bye.
Night. Bye.